Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round 16 of the title decider here in Hyperdrive Racing Series Div 2 tonight. Around Brazil, we've got a full grid and a sprint race lined up for you tonight, and so many battles in the standings left to decide in this one final race of the season on this glorious Saturday night. And over the course of the next 2 hours, who knows what the standings will end up finishing like, because there are so many implications going into this weekend's race. And Div 2 recently, we haven't had very good attendance, but this time, to cap off the season, we have got nearly a full lobby, which is great to see. But the main storyline coming into this weekend is, after Emu's Kamikaze down at Imola, Netherlands I should say last time, it is J Morris versus Mars. J Morris has a 20-point lead on Mars into this final race, but it is a sprint race, which bodes very well for Mars. And it does give him hope to still catch up. But J Morris, he's the one to lose this. He's got it all panned out. And he just needs to hope that nothing similar happens as last race after he got taken out by Emu, which could have ended up costing him a championship. He could have won it last week, but he's still in search of that title. He won it last season in Div 3, and he's defied the odds here and came to Div 2 and has been flawless. But Mars isn't giving up either. But further behind, just behind them, the battle for P3 in the standings is still on as well. Emu and K5 separated by 15 points. K5 15 points ahead of Emu. And then the battle for P5 is very raging. Flov, Comic, Shocklade, and Tiger all separated by 7 points, with Flov and Comic tied on 5th and 6th. Shocklade on 111, 3 points behind them. And Tiger 4 points behind Nat in 8th. So many battles here with many possibilities for the standings to be mixed up. But the main one is the championship, which is swinging in J Morris's favour. But Mars will have something to say about that. And it is a sprint race, which is sure to conjure up some chaos in the brilliant track of Brazil. Always great to race in, always chaotic. So we do just wait for everybody to join. Should be getting here in about 3 minutes at past when most people are in. Also, I think Alfa Romeo have already wrapped up the constructors. Yeah, I can't wait to see who win the title either. It's going to be a brilliant battle between the two drivers. Well, Tiger as well. Good luck to you as well, because you can get P4 in the standings today. P5 I should say. So yeah, you're currently at P8, but could end up P5 at the end. So good luck to you. What do I think Div 2 pole time will be? No clue. I haven't done any Brazil practice, so I couldn't tell you. But slightly faster than Div 3, I'd assume. And for reference, Div 3 pole yesterday was a 108.2 set by Rise. So I would estimate about a 7.8, 7.9 for pole here. Have Alfa Romeo not won the title yet? Oh, yeah, I don't know. There's too many calculations to be going on. But Alfa Romeo should be winning the title today unless both their drivers DNF everything and Red Bull 1-2 everything, which would be quite calamitous. But Alfa Romeo should be winning the constructors by the end of today, assuming everything goes swimmingly. But we have nearly got everybody in. We await the start of a race with, and if you want to check the standings yourself, please do, because it's going to be very difficult for me to explain it to you. For the race, different scoring system as well. Here in HDR, you get 8 points for a sprint win, so 8 points and 1 down to 8th, and 25 points for a win, like in real life, in first. But Yeah, it's different behind there, so I'm going to have to be doing a lot of calculations to figure out who is in the net lead of a championship. He was saying he's going to do a Hamilton. I'd like to see that. Emu obviously fighting for P3 in the standings as the championship leader Jay Morris does join the lobby. So no calamitous misses for him. And it is a straight fight between them two. But we should be getting going any second now. For a short quality session, then a sprint and a 50% race. Div 3 was carnage yesterday, and if we get anything similar then, this championship decider is going to be very spicy. I've heard Jeezy is joining mid-quali. We have 16 in at the moment. But if anybody is here, get your predictions in. Or actually, tell me who's going to win the title, who is going to finish P3, and who is going to finish P5, because they are the main three sets of battles for the championship position. And just to remind you, we do have a few quali bans coming into this weekend. Emu in P4 has a quali ban, and so does Alex. Yeah, so they both have quali bans, but it's a good day to have a quali ban because it's a sprint race. So even if they get a quali ban, they can still qualify on pole if they win the sprint. Yeah, anything can happen, and it is Brazil, known for its crazy weather, crazy racing. And the Div 2 admin has told us to ready up, so we are getting going. Green lights flooding the field. And we are about to get going. Now, there may be a bit of team play going on here, because Jay Morris, he does not have a Mercedes teammate. Mars, on the other hand, he has got Dreadu to back him up for the title, and I think Dreadu will be doing his best to help Mars, because Mars does need a bit of a miracle if he wants to win this title. Like I said, 34 points on offer, 26 for a race, 25 for a win, 1 fastest lap, and then 8 in the sprint. So it is unlikely, but Jay Morris can win the championship before the race even begins. He can win it in the sprint race if he outscores Mars by 6 points. Which would mean he would have to win, and Mars would have to finish P7. So it is unlikely he'd win it in the sprint, but it would just give him a very nice position for a race. So we are about to get in. And contenders for pole, we know how quick K5M5 is in pole. He really seems on another level in qualifying, just seems to be dropping back in the race a little bit. But we are getting underway. For those of you watching, make sure audio is all good when the cars go out, or the cars aren't too loud or anything. But we await for the cars to go out on track for this very satisfying, brilliant race. The Nürburgring is the only F1 track to have hosted 3 different races: the German Grand Prix, European Grand Prix, and Luxembourg Grand Prix. And I'm hearing in chat that it might be rain. Yes, K5 is screaming wet race down the mic, so we could be in for a wet race here. So I'm hearing that it's a dry quali, it is a dry sprint race, but it is a wet race. Now that is a weekend set up for you, ladies and gentlemen. That seems very ominous, and qualifying could play a massive factor in the race, but we know how treacherous the weather can be around Brazil. So we are in for some chaos today. Tiger is the first car out on track. First one fighting for at P5 in the standings. Closely followed by Dredude, hoping to help out his teammate Mars. An 18-minute session to decide who is on pole here at Brazil. Pole for the sprint race, that is. And then we'll have 12 laps of racing to decide who's on pole for the main race, which I am being told is going to be wet. And it's the whole way through the race. So this is going to be incredibly treacherous for the drivers. And most of these drivers don't really practice that much for wet races, so it's really going to test the skill. And I think Jay Morris would have just preferred a dry, calm race, because all he has to do is score 7 points this weekend, or 14 points this weekend. He is a world champion. But Tiger coming into turn 1 to start a lap, swinging through turn 1, kissing the apex turn 2, and swinging it round on the inside of turn 3. Ooh, squirming a little bit on the exit. I think that was just a bit of lag. And DRS enabled for the second time down towards the first middle sector split, then on the brakes. So it's Hamilton off like Master Verstappen did, and he keeps on the track. Round the flat out turn 5, then you need to flick it through turn 6, kiss the apex nicely. Still hugging the inside line and braking down, kissing the apex once again, swings it through. Gets a nice cutback for the long turn 8 on the exit, trying not to spin. Kink through turn 9 and then hard braking through turn 10. Swings it round, then flat out around turn 12. His car in front, that gets out of the way nicely. Then you need to make sure you get a good exit here. Beats the apex a little bit, cuts back inside to try and get a good exit. And Tiger now flat out through the last 3 corners. DRS now deployed. L. Alex is out of the session, but he has a quality line. A 108.5. Only 3 tenths off pole time yesterday, so that's a pretty good lap. Fexing comes to the line with a 109.1. The Red Bull of Dredude now comes to the line. He goes P3, oh, that's not a very representative lap time. But we have got more people starting laps now. Lanny is starting a lap with a Red Bull right in front of him. Now Road Reaction goes P3 for 109.7. Who will be next to finish? Shockley, my predictions, I have absolutely no clue. Because Brazil's such a crazy track, and with a wet race, I don't want to try and make a prediction. Unless somebody asks for a commentator's curse. Meanwhile, Flov goes to the top with a 108.3. Good lap from the Alfa Romeo. As for benchmark, Dodger now, he comes to the line in the Aston Martin, crosses the line, goes P5 behind his teammate. Shocklade is starting his lap. Meanwhile, the Williams of Wide Beta comes to the line, and he must have been validated, I think. Meanwhile, championship leader Jay Morris now comes to the line. Where can he put his Mercedes? P2, he can put it. Good lap there from the championship leader. Hassan Tiger already made it around the lap and is pitting. Comet comes to the line now. Very quick driver in qualifying. Goes P4 in his Alpine. Dredude sets another lap. Goes P6 that was before Lanny displaces him. He goes up to P5. K5 also starting a lap. The championship protagonist just about to start his lap. Shockblade has not set a lap. Not sure why he hasn't set one yet. Stick with K5 M5 on his lap. Probably the fastest qualifier on the grid, I'd say. And we'll see what his time compares to with Flov. We're only a 10th off Div 3 pole already, so that bodes well for K5 and the other drivers. If they can keep up this pace. K5 rounding, very difficult. Few turns here. Really difficult on traction to make sure you don't spin out, and that's going to be even worse in a race. Kisses the apex nicely. And now rises the hill and plunge down to the line. Championship. He was fighting for the title for a large part of the season, but dropped off after Saudi Arabia, and K5 goes to the top and already beats Div 3 pole And by 1.5 tenths, K5 goes to pole, and that is your benchmark time. We've still got more to cross the line than Mars. Second in the championship, comes up to the line now, and he goes P2. Good lap there from Mars. And he could do that qualifying Jay Morris today, and he's done a great job of that so far. Shockblade is going for another lap, I think. Yeah, Shockblade is on a lap. Also to remind you, so L Alex has a quali ban, Emu also has a quali ban. I'm not sure if Racing does, but he hasn't set a time yet. But from what I know, it's just Alex and Emu who have a quali ban. Shockblade is 26 seconds up, but I don't know how quick that is compared to his 1 minute 44 time. We'll see now as he comes around the flat out last few corners. Shockblade up to the line, could claim P5 today in the championship. Goes P6, his first day back on wheel. He's been on control the last few races, but he's finally got his wheel and goes P6, so that does look better already from the Alfa Romeo. I've got some more people coming out for their second laps already. Meanwhile, Lanny comes to the line. He was on a lap, but does not improve. Misses out on improvement by 17 milliseconds. That's unfortunate from the McLaren. Two Aston Martins coming out for another lap there, and Road Reaction will be the first of them to set a lap. Racing is coming out now, so he doesn't have a quali ban. If you don't go out for an out lap, you'll just have to apply your setup for the start of the sprint. You just need to not forget. You can go out for an out lap to apply your setup if you want. Emu. Oh, and G-Eazy is now in, so good to see him finally joining. See what Road Reaction can do. 1.5 tenths up his previous lap. That was close to the grass. Just about avoids it though. Swings it through turn 4. And through his very technical middle sector. Struggled a lot this season, Road Reaction. He was a championship contender for a lot of last season. But lost a lot of pace this season. We'll be lucky to end the season on a high. It seems like a pretty good lap so far from the Aston Martin. Plunging down a hill for the middle sector split. And he's 6 tenths up. This is a good lap from Road Reaction. We'll see how his last sector fares. Oh, what's happened with Dodger and who was that? That was Dredude. Don't know what happened there. I think there was a bit of impeding going on there. Meanwhile, Road Reaction comes to the line. P9 only for him, but he is a lot closer to the top. Other drivers are on a lap. Comic is on a lap. Dodger was on a lap, but got impeded, I think that was. Wide Vader, he's on a lap to set his first lap of the session. Wide Vader coming up to the line now. A rookie, I think, only P12 for him. Comic on a lap as well. Flov starting lap 2. Flov actually finished the lap, but he didn't improve his position. Comic maybe improving his position now. Coming around the final corner, he's slightly up on his time. He might get a bit of a slipstream, but the Aston Martin gets out very quickly to prevent that. So Comic around the final corner now. To the line, he puts his Alpine P7. Just improves on his time. Tyre aim has invalidated already, so that's a lap down the drain for him. Flexin went P5 and all that. Sorry, I missed that. Flov is on his in lap. We've got a few other people trying to set a lap there. Dredude's on a lap. Ditched wheel on the grass, so that'll be bad. And yes, he has backed off. Racing starting a lap now, the Div 3 driver. Substituting in for some Div 2 drivers who aren't racing, so we'll see how he fares in Div 2. And there's Emu coming out to apply his setup on. I've got Jay Morris also on a lap now, along with Mars. So we'll see how the top two in the championship fare, along with K5. The second run's very crucial to the drivers. But to be fair, they can burn all their softs, because if it's a wet race, they're not going to need any. So they can burn all the sides they wish, and they just need to save one set for the sprint race. depending on whether they run softs or mediums. So Racing coming through. Good exit out the last corner. Let's see what he can do in his Alpine. I'll be looking to help out Comic this weekend to try and get him P5 in the standings. Racing comes up to the line now and goes P4. Very good lap there from Racing. But he's displaced by Jay Morris, who goes P3. What has Mars got to say behind that? He's slightly up, and he's got to say P1 to that. So Mars takes provisional pole by a tenth of a second, and I think K5 may have spun. Yes, he has. K5's made a mistake. So Mars takes provisional pole after these second runs. Is K5 going again? Yes, he is. So K5 messed up his first lap, but he's now going again. But Mars just needs to keep on doing what he's doing and give him the best shot of the title. He just needs to hope that Jay Morris gets himself in some sort of trouble, like he did in Zandvoort. Because Zandvoort was the best possible scenario for Mars. Meanwhile, K5 gets a bit of a nice slipstream and is half 10 foot. Meanwhile, Tiger Gamer missed that, goes up to P2 and decides to do a celebratory spin on his in lap. So good lap there from Tiger Gamer to thrust him up the order. Now it's K5M5's turn to respond to this. Can he retake his pole position? K5 has a little less to lose on Mars. Mars can't afford any mistakes. K5 can have a bit of fun because all he's fighting for is P3 in the standings, which doesn't matter too much, but he has made an error at the final corner. So that is K5's lap ruined, and 2 laps in a row now. He's made a mistake. So K5 stays P3. Wide Beta, the only one about to start a lap now. Tiger Gamer is on his in lap after going P2. Oh, there's a car in the way of Wide Beta. Is he going to get a bit impeded? I think that's Lanny in front. Yes, it is. He's still not getting out of the way, Lanny. Could go down as impeding by McLaren. Does get in the way by quite a bit. McLaren there. Don't know if it's enough to make a report though. Lanny and Dodge are coming out for what should be their final laps. I don't know if Tiger Gamer's got enough set of softs to go for another lap. If it is, it might be unused. Actually, that's clever from Lanny, because now he's going to get a slipstream down the main straight. Riding on board with Lanny, he's now going to get a slipstream down towards turn 1, so that'll give him a little bit of extra speed. It's a clever play from Lanny there. As Wide Beta only goes P12, what can Lanny do now? Dodger also on a lap behind him as well. So Lanny's still going through as everyone starts to come out for their final laps. Hello DeVito, good to see you here. He must be cheering on Jay Morris as Mercedes driver. So G's, he has joined the lobby, but I think he may have a quali ban too, if I'm not mistaken. You're not cheering on? What, you want Mars to win the title, DeVito? If so, then that's a bit of treachery going on. Meanwhile, Lanny, he's not a treacherous teammate, he's brilliant to Emu, and he goes P7 for now. A brilliant day from Lanny when he won Emu the Bahrain Grand Prix. You support your guy Wide Beta, okay. Well, out of Mars and Jay Morris, who do you want to win the title? Yeah, I'd have to disagree with that, DeVito. Anyway, these are going to be your final laps of qualifying. Fexin is starting a lap now. We've got others on the lap. Dreadwood on the lap. Dodger was on the lap, but he didn't improve. So everybody about to start their lap. Oh, that's off though. Is that going to be? Well, he's gone all the way off anyway, so it doesn't matter if it affects him. Rotary Action starting his final lap now. Dreadwood slightly up on his time. I think he'll be the first to cross the line. He's 8 tenths up now. Oh, this could be a very good lap for Dreadwood. If he has a good final sector as well. This could propel the Red Bull right up the order, and Mars will need that to help him in the championship. Dreadwood now comes to the line, and it's P8 for the Red Bull, so not quite up there with his teammate. It's Comic starting a lap. Lanny is going to go again. Flov is on his lap, and Tiger's gone out for another one. But Jay Morris has been disqualified. Jay Morris has been disqualified from this qualifying session. And he's just joined back. Now that is a huge twist in this title battle. White Vader is out. But what on earth has gone on with Jay Morris there? We'll have a look at that afterwards, but qualifying is not over. We have still got a lot of people on laps. Lanny's on a lap. Flexin's gone for a lap. Comic is on his lap, but no one seems to be improving. Is it raining or something? Shocklay's slightly up on his time, so do not count out anyone in this qualifying session. What can Comic do? He's slightly up on his time. Can he improve his position from 9th? Oh, he's pitting, so he can't. Everyone, nobody's improving. Is Lanny improving? Yes, he is. He's nearly a 10th up. So Lanny may be able to propel himself slightly up the order. Lanny comes to the line now and will go P6. So he improves by 1 position. Meanwhile, Mars goes even faster. A 7.9. Now that's a lap. Is K5 improving? He can't go any quicker. Shockley goes up to P4. But nobody's beaten that time by Mars, who takes pole by 3 attempts. And while Mars is on pole for the sprint, Jay Morris is disqualified and will start 17th. That is the best case scenario for Mars in this title picture. I don't know why Jay Morris got disqualified, but Mars will not care. Because he is right at the front and Jay Morris is right at the back. So Mars takes pole by 3 tenths, gets a 1.7.9. Brilliant lap from the Red Bull. Tiger Gamer, very impressive qualifying from him in P2. K5, only slight behind that. He may be a bit disappointed. In P3, Shocklade, good return from him in P4. His teammate behind him in P5. Racing, good effort from him. The Div 3 driver up in P6. Out qualifying his teammate, Comic in the other Alpine. Fex in P9, Dredu P8, so he'll be looking to help out Mars. Road Reaction P11, G-Easy P12, Wide Vader, Rookie P13, P14 Dodger, P15 L Alex, and Emu, they both have quality bands, but Jay Morris, championship leader, is last for the sprint. And this is throwing a huge curveball in the mix. So let's get your race director up. I don't know what is the faster strategy around here, mediums or softs. But yeah, very unfair for Jay Morris how he's starting from last. Seems like the world is against him. Nobody wants him to win the title. Yeah, Jay Morris is going to have to do it the hard way. Him and Emu will be starting from the back. Let's get a drink of water because this is going to be chaos. So I'll just waiting to ready up. There's a few problems with. We are contemplating a restart due to the. Okay, so Mars is decided to restart the lobby due to Jay Morris's disqualification. So we are restarting the lobby. So we are restarting the lobby due to Mars's Jay Morris's disconnection. Mars has decided that because it's back on the stream. Like if you wind back on the stream, it's there, but I didn't screenshot it. No. So sorry about the inconvenience, but So our waiting to get an invite back in. I think I may have already got one. I don't have that. We just wanted a clean, easy title decider, but it was always going to be something to annoy it. Oh yeah, cheers to Visa. I was always going to remember, don't worry. Just adding the championship leader in case he disconnects again, just so I'll be able to add him back because we don't want another. I can't show you the grid R web because I don't have access to grid changer. That's just robot reaction changing it. But I'll just show you the race director when we get into the lobby. Yeah, our web. So J Morris will get put to about back to where he was, so about P4, P5. I don't know the exact position, but Rote Reaction's got that sorted. So we're about to get going soon. J Morris will return to his former position. So we should get going soon again, and we can finally decide this championship properly with no more sketchy disconnects. Also, Jay Rise may be joining us. We're just deciding our web whether it's going to be a wet race still. So we're just sorting out the settings and then we should be done. So sprint will be dry and race will be wet. So confirm. So Jay Rise is in, so we have got an extra driver. So we should be ready to go. I think we are about to get going. So I think we are ready to go finally now. Road reaction's done the grid, the weather is all as it was, and we just need to hope that J Morris doesn't disconnect again. Sprint and race predictions. I'm gonna go with the Mars sprint win. I mean, he's on pole, and yeah, when he's in front, his race pace just seems too good. And then the wet, I couldn't predict. But, I'm going to go for a Mars domination. I'm going to say he wins both races, and then it's just down to Jay Morris to try and minimize the damage. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a Mars clean sweep. Mars again. What? Okay, I've been asked to curse Mars twice now, but I've literally just cursed him. I've literally just done it for you. I've just said that he's going to win the sprint and a race. So, I mean, there you go. That's a curse in itself. Dredu wants me to curse Jay Morris. So Jay Morris, the utter incredible driver, he's going to win the title. He's been giving Mars a bit of a head start all season. He's finally going to unleash his incredibility by getting a clean sweep, and Mars is going to buckle under the pressure, and he's going to crash out. And Jay Morris is going to all right, bro. What? I can't do like 5 curses. If the start of a race is going to happen before that happens. And I don't even know what order we're going in. Curse J Morris, reverse J Morris, curse Mars. Like, I can't keep up, lads. Besides me saying Mars is going to win the sprint and race, I've already just cursed him and my whole self. But we got Dreaded, the teammate of Mars, hoping for a win, and Journey obviously hoping for a Mercedes win in the form of Jay Morris. But I hope he doesn't get disqualified this time. I don't know why he got disqualified earlier. Reverse, Jay Morris. So Jay Morris is terrible. He is absolutely terrible. Like, he's so bad. Like, no wonder he's P2 in the standings. He's just going to crash out again. Like, in nowhere, I can see him spinning 5 times. Classic Felipe Massa at Silverstone 2008. On Mars, on the other hand, he's just so incredible that he's going to dominate everything. That's just how good he is. He's going to watch his rivals crash, and he's going to come through to win the title like the god he is. That's my cursing done for the day. Someone can send me a hydrating before this sprint gets underway. That'll be beneficial. But here is your grid. So after felt like hours before we did short qualifying, here is the grid. J Morris is P5 after he got disqualified. But William Mars on pole, and he's in a very good position here. And J Morris can win the sprint today. Can win a sprint, can win a title, I should say, if he outscores Mars by 6 points. Well, that's very unlikely because there's only 8 points max on offer. Also, let's hope nobody readies up because there's a lot of people going for different stuff. We are waiting till 20 because I think people need drinks and stuff. So we've still got 2 minutes to wait on. 2.5 minutes to wait on until we get going. I don't care, David, so I'm having a hydrate either way if you give me one or not. But right now, everybody on softs other than a robot reaction. And Dodger. So both Aston Martins, I don't know if they're on a call with each other, but they may be gambling on a medium tyre. But I think the softs do die out quite quickly here at Brazil. Just a reminder of the championship picture all on the field before we get going. J Morris leads the title by 20 points to Mars. He can win the title in the sprint here if he outscores Mars by 6 points. K5 is currently P3 ahead of Emu. Emu is last because he has a quali ban. He has 17 points behind, so he's going to need a bit of a miracle if he wants to take P3 in the standings. And it's 6 points between Flov, Comic, Shocklade, and Tayama in the battle for P5. So keep an eye on all of those drivers because they are all fighting for different positions in the standings. But main ones to keep an eye on are J Morris and Mars. They are your title contenders. And Mars will be on pole for the sprints. And it will be a dry sprint. Oh, and Racing has left. Okay. Don't know why Racing has left. And I don't even think I have him. I mean, I told them to add me once they joined, so I can't really do much. So we are now readying up, so we are about to get going. So the sprint, the final sprint of the season is about to get going, and we are about to find out if J Morris is going to win the title here and now, or if he has to wait for the race, or if he doesn't win it at all, and if Mars has got something off his sleeve. And here we are, 5 red lights in front of the drivers of a Brazilian sprint. And it's lights out and away we go. Tiger seems to get a very good start heading down into turn 1. rising the hill. Tiger down the inside of Mars. Can he get the move done? Mars gives him the space on the outside. He's on the mediums. Tiger will hang it around the outside of turn 2. Mars gives him the space. Tiger around the outside takes the lead. Round turn 3, Tiger leads the Brazilian sprint. K5 now on the inside of Mars. Makes a bit of contact, running on ball with Shockley. Here he comes. Wheel to wheel with K5 to the outside. In turn 4, Mars hangs it around the outside. Mars will spun. Mars will spun round. Flovers up to P3, but Mars spun all the way to the back. Calamity for the man who's second in the championship. J Morris sitting pretty in P5. Dreaded up to P4. Brilliant start from the Red Bull. At least one Red Bull's had a good start. Flop up to P3 with a good start as well. Lanny P6 next to Comic as well, trying to get ahead. Flexing, followed by Jeezy and Raw Reaction to top 10. But what a calamitous start for Mars. And he's all the way down in P16 and he has got a mad comeback to do in this sprint. But Tiger vaulting up at the front on those soft tyres. And everyone else is on softs, but they just can't keep up with Tiger. Tiger absolutely blitzing at the moment. Meanwhile, there's been a bit of an incident at the back. I think Raw Reaction has spun. Raw Reaction has spun, so bad stuff him as well on the mediums. Meanwhile, race down to turn 1. Anyone looking for a move. Flob very close to the back of K5. Just stays behind for now. Dreaded has a look down the inside. Closely followed by J Morris and a lot of cars filing through. Alex under pressure from Emu. Emu's had a very good start as well. Riding on board with the McLaren. Does he want to try and make a move heading down into turn 4? They're both burning battery, so he's just going to have to stay behind for now. But that is a calamitous start for Mars, who needs to get moving if he wants to score some points, and he is trying to get moving. He's overtaking Dodger now on the inside of turn 5. Is Dodger going to fight it? It's going to get risky. Mars trying to go around the outside, thinks better of it and just stay behind. It's costly time for a Red Bull. Oh, maybe there's been a crash up there. Is that contact? That is contact for Mars, but meanwhile, I think J Rise, that was J Rise, he's spun out into the barriers. Did Mars get some damage from that incident? Well, there's virtual safety car, so I'll calm down the race for a little bit. I don't know if Mars got some wing damage from that contact with Dodger. His front wing visually seems okay. Mars has said in the Div 2 chat he has got front wing damage, so he's coming into pit. So Mars, his title hopes are fading away. The sprint was a big chance for him to gain on J Morris, but he's now looking to lose, and he's got to hope that his teammate can do some defensive masterclass against him, and he needs to compromise J Morris as much as possible in this race, because it looks like Mars isn't going to be scoring anything, because he needs to finish top 8 for any points. Let's have a look at position change. And biggest mover so far are Alex and Emu, both gaining 6 positions. 2 men with quali bands gaining 6 positions, so brilliant stuff by them. J Morris will stay where he is, but DRS is now enabled, and we are racing again. As that gap, it was 1.5 seconds, it's now down to 6/10. Tiger not having a very good restart, and K5 licking his lips at the sight in front of him. He's all over back of Tiger. As Tiger burned out his tyres too early or something, because K5 is right on the back of our hats, both powered by the same engine. As we rise the hill, K5 is going to have DRS. And is he going to shake from a move on Tiger? He's right behind him. Flov closely following by Dreaded as well. J Morris fell back a bit. Meanwhile, riding aboard with K5, Tiger burning his battery. He don't want to give it up yet. Heading into turn 1, K5 just stays behind. Does he want to wait for a move into turn 4? Staying by man. Meanwhile, Emu overtakes Alex into turn 1. Emu already up into the top 10 after starting last. Great job from McLaren. Meanwhile, K5 really close to Tiger now. Tiger burning a bit of battery, but here comes K5 to the inside of turn 4. Tiger gives him the space on the inside. K5 just has to concede the place for now. Tiger holds on to the lead, but he's already burnt a bit more of his battery than I think he would have hoped. Flov right behind him as well, looking to capitalise. Dreaded also right behind. Looking quick as he looks down the inside, just stays behind for now. So these top 7 separated by absolutely nothing really. 5 tenths between all of them. Meanwhile, Mars on fresh softs will have to try and catch back up to everybody else. He needs a safety car to try and salvage anything from this race. But you could do with J Morris also getting compromised to have any hope of winning the championship. As it stands, if J Morris finishes P3, he wins the title. But look how close everyone is now, coming down the main straight. Who's going to be making moves? Dreaded seems to be burning a bit of his batteries to get close to Flov. Here comes K5 to the inside of turn 1. Having a look, here's Flov looking at both of them. Trying to get on the inside of K5. Now turns to the outside, makes a bit of contact. Riding on board with Dreaded now, who sees all three of them in front. Flov to the inside of K5. He's going to try and get both of them 3 wide nearly. Flov down the inside of turn 4. Can he get a move done? K5 trying to get in as well. Flov takes the lead. K5 now on the inside of Tiger, nearly making contact. Tiger just stays off a track. Tiger now retakes the lead of a race. Down the inside at turn 6. Just gets ahead. Dreaded now wheel to wheel with K5. K5 all the way down to P4. Lanny making skirmishes with Comic and Jeezy at the back. Incredible battling there as Comic nearly spins into Jeezy as they just managed to get through unscathed. How on earth have they all managed to get through? As now K5 down the inside of Dreadu. Dreadu had a horrible turn. Jay Morris now trying to get back ahead as Lanny trying to capitalise on him going wide. As the top two start to pull away a little bit, Tiger's already burnt a lot of VRS, but so has Flov. Heading down the main straight, here comes Flov now. Tiger doesn't want to give up the lead just yet, but here he comes. J-Ride's already got a penalty. Here comes Flov now, trying to pull the dummy on Tiger, but it's turn 1. Tiger keeps it on the inside. Flov goes all the way around the outside and takes the lead of a Brazilian Grand Prix. Can Tiger try and get the switch back though? Flov's burning his battery, you don't want to let that happen. I think Flov will just hang on to the lead for now. Meanwhile, K5, he's coming back at these two after having a battle with Dreadu. Dreadu's falling back now as he got wing damage possibly. As Tiger's already got a penalty, so that's calamitous for the Hats there. And he's going to really ruin his race. Meanwhile, Emu overtakes Fexin. He is on a roll right now, already up to P9. But these guys all filing through, separated by barely anything. It's incredible battling all down the field as Flov starts to pull away from the field. Tiger seems to be dropping off with that penalty, and he might lose the DRS even to Flov, and I think he is nearly a second as Dodgers span out, I think, at the back. Yes, Flov out of the DRS range, and now it's going to leave Tiger vulnerable to the attacks from behind. Meanwhile, Lanny up to P6 ahead of Comic. Good move there from the Alpine. Meanwhile, here comes K5 to the outside of Tiger. Tiger is defenseless, and Tiger down to P3. Here comes Dreadu now, having a look at the Haas in front. Jay Morris and Lanny not too far behind. Comic closely followed as well. Emu, Jeezy, Fexin, and L. Alex getting up to the train. The top 11, all separated by barely anything. Dreadu looks a bit squirmy. That early pace he showed seems to be wearing off a little as L. Alex gets a penalty as well. Oh, Jay Morris tapped his wheel on the grass there, nearly span out. He was lucky to stay in a straight line there. Meanwhile, Dreadu really putting pressure on Tiger. Tiger really struggling, it seems. Meanwhile, K5 has caught back up to Flov, and he might be able to get back in the DRS, I think. Tiger might be falling out the DRS of K5. Here comes Dreadu. They've both burnt a lot of their battery. I think Tiger just about got the DRS. It's been a spin at the back for Rise. If that causes a safety car, Mars will be very happy. Tiger burning all his battery. He wants to keep with K5. But K5 is the one trying to catch up to Flov. Flov's burnt a lot of his battery though. He didn't want K5 to get within the DRS. But all these guys still in a DRS train. Fexin gaining on L. Alex behind and Fexin down inside of turn 4. Alex just cuts him off. Emu is up into the points now after starting last, so it's a brilliant drive from the McLaren. Meanwhile, Tiger goes wide. That's going to cost him a lot of time as he falls back into the clutches of Dreadu. Dreadu also struggling though, losing a lot of time around that flat out corner. Coming around the final bend, is he close enough to shake for a move? He's burning his battery, so I think he wants that position. Tiger just about keeping within the DRS. He's very fortunate to stay with him. Jay Morris and Dreadu following closely behind, trying to get ahead of the Haas. Meanwhile, K5 has got within the DRS of Flov, so his battle for the lead is not over yet. And look at the ERS difference. Flov has absolutely none, and K5 has a lot, as Tigamer now has dropped out of the DRS, so he's now vulnerable to the attacks from Dredude and all of those behind. And if Jay Morris can overtake both of these, then he is a world champion right here and now. But that's easier said than done, as Dredude starting to pile on the pressure for Tiger. As K5 starts to pile on the pressure for Flov as well. 3 laps to go when we cross the line. As we could have some photo finishes down to the line. It was a photo finish for the win in a sprint yesterday in Div 3. Could have another one here. K5 8 tenths behind Flov, not quite close enough to make a move. Dredude 4 tenths though behind Tiger. He could be close enough to make a move. So here comes Dredude now. With the DRS, burns a bit of battery. Tiger's burning it as well though, he don't want to give it up. His way down towards turn 1. Is Dredude going to shake for a move down? He is at turn 1. Tiger gives him the space. Cuts back in though, and he's still behind for now. Dredude wants that move now though, is heading down the straight. Oh, meanwhile, K5 battling with Flov up front. K5 down the inside, Flov hangs it right on the outside. K5 on the inside, but Flov on the outside now. Still wheel to wheel. Is K5 going to back out? There's still wheel to wheel. Can K5 hang it right on the outside? No, he can't. He squirms on the grass and now spins out. Here comes Dredude now, trying to get back at him. Dredude to the outside, takes P2. Can Tiger now get ahead? Dodges out the race. K5 around the outside. Tiger cuts back to the inside to get back ahead of that Ferrari, but now squirms on the exit and is behind. A huge error there for K5, which could hand the victory to Flov. He's now 2.2 seconds clear. J Morris trying to keep his nose clean. Watching all this carnage unfold in front of him. Comic, Lanny and Emu and Jeezy all looking to capitalise as well as we make our way down the main straight. J Morris burning his battery to get ahead of Tiger. And he's just 1 position off. Championship lead, Tiger burning his battery though, as here comes K5 to the outside of Dredude. Into turn 1 now, Dredude fouls behind. J Morris stuck behind Tiger still. He's got more ERS though. Jeezy overtakes Emu at the back, but we'll focus on this passer still. Still they carry on, 2 laps left. K5 leads Dredude, leads Tiger, leads J Morris, leads Comic, and Lanny and Jeezy are falling out the back as now Jeezy. Emu's lost a lot of time now. Jeezy's now putting pressure on the other McLaren. Tiger with that penalty still trying to fight. Trying to cut back in the inside of Dredude. K5 is pushing like mad to get back within the DRS of Flov. He's not giving up. And he's pushing really hard. It's only 1.3. He's brought that gap right back down. He's not giving up, K5, but he's still within the clutches of Dredude, who still has DRS. Tiger falls a bit back. J Morris right behind Bahats, 4 tenths. Is he going to be close enough to shake for a move? J Morris just savouring his ERS. Comic isn't. He's going for a move right now, burning his battery. Comic just has to stay behind for now. Oh, meanwhile, J Morris right behind Tiger now. Is he going to want to shake for a move? DRS deployed, ERS deployed. Bit of jerk in there from Tiger. Couldn't make up his mind now. Here comes Comic to the outside of turn 4. Right outside goes the Alpine on J Morris as he gets a move done. And now J Morris falls down to P7. This isn't what he needs. J Morris goes from P4 to P7 and now sees his championship lead falling away from him. Meanwhile, it's now Comic's turn to have a go at Tiger. K5 has nearly got back within the DRS of Flov, but he's still just hanging out of it. Flov hanging on to that first place. Dredude, maybe we were in a drag race with K5 to the line. He seems to be a bit far back though. Comic maybe we were in a drag race of Tiger Gamer. But Flov has been the one who has dominated this race, calculated everything perfectly, and burning all his battery to the line. Flov, he's been struggling in these last few races, but he's going to cap off this season with a victory. Flov weaves to the line, now wins the sprint. K5 is P2. Meanwhile, they battle Tiger and Comic to the line. Comic is P4. Tiger had a penalty anyway, and so he will drop all the way down to P8. Emo only P9 after his recovery. A brilliant podium from Dredude. K5 is P2. As that maybe I think that has sealed his P3 in the standing, so good. That's good for K5M5. Comic is P4, good recovery from him. Lanny P5, good effort. J Morris dropped a few places at the end. He is not the world champion, and as it will carry on to the main race where Mars has got a hope for a miracle if he wants to win this title. G-Eazy is P7, Tiger P8, Bahas's dropped all the way back. Tiger, back penalty really costing him. And Emu with a really good recovery, Fex in P8, P10, rounding out the top 10. But Mars P14, he will not be happy with that. So, Flov wins the sprint and will be on pole for the race. Let's get the results in from here. Yeah, the penalties for Tiger and Alex really hampering them today. But we have got a whole wet race ahead of us. So, that means the gap in the championship is now, so J Morris has scored 3, it is 23 points, and there is 26 on offer. So, that means if J Morris finishes P10, then he is the world champion no matter what. So, Mars has really got hope for a miracle, and here is the rain. It is chucking it down here at Sao Paulo, and this is going to be a real test of the driver's skills. And is this when Mars's plan comes into play? Did he have a wet setup on? And how is Jay Morris going to fare in the conditions? We're all going to find out. So all Jay Morris has to do is finish P10 and he is the world champion. And that's assuming that Mars does not win the race. And Mars has to win, otherwise he cannot be the world champion. So Mars has got to pull some heroics if he wants to win this season's title. So everyone get your predictions in for the finale, the last race of Div 2. Who's going to win the race and who's going to win the title? Tell me those two things. Oh, Cook Gamer's back. Oh, damn, he's giving me a hydrate. Fair enough. Thought you were gone. I mean, I was glad you were gone yesterday when United won on Thursday because I didn't want to hear the end of it. But now you're here to cheer on Tiger Gamer and all the other drivers. But we've been told to ready up at 22, so we are about to get going. Let's click Gamers back to witness the finale of the championship. Penalty points master himself. But it is Jay Morris in the box seat. But what can the other drivers do? How can they spice up this championship? Flov will be hoping to claim another win. But it is 22, so we should be readying about now. Yes, Jamie Astor won the Div 3 title. And quick game just for championship perspective, if Jay Morris finishes P10, then he wins the championship no matter what. And Mars has to win if he wants to win the championship. And he starts P14, so yeah, the odds are against Mars, but he's not going to give up. So here we go. We are racing in this wet-soaked Sao Paulo Grand Prix, the finale of Div 2. And it's lights out and away we go. They're all sluggishly off the line. Flov seems to get away well. Heading down into turn 1. Dredu ahead of K5. Comic trying to go around the outside as well. But someone spun off into barriers. Emu's already out of the session. Dredu in P2 as Flov breaks a bit. And I think there's a safety car. Yes, there is a safety car. As Jeezy gets a 5-second penalty. They all file through. Dredu is up to P2. K5 has lost the position. But what happened there with Emu? He barely got off the line and he already spiraled into the barriers. Constructors for Div 2 doesn't really matter. The overall constructors, and Alfa Romeo have already won that. Right now, Team Constructors, Mercedes are 1 point ahead of Red Bull. But it is the overall constructors that matters. Anyway, enough from this. We get off the line. Mars has gained a position, and he just needs to keep that up. But J. Morris also gaining a position. He has overtaken Lanny. It's a good start from the Mercedes. Let's also see what tyres everybody's on. Let's make sure we're all on the same. So everyone is on Inters. I don't know what Jeezy got the 5-second penalty from. That is a bit unfair for the Haas. So he may pit now and try and serve that. But is anyone going to pit? That's the question. I think they'll all just stay out because it is a first lap safety car. What's the overall then? Alfa Romeo have won the constructors already. But with Emu DNFing, that means that K5 does finish P3 in the World Championship. So he's had a very good season, K5, just a few errors here and there, which cost him a real shot of a title, but he'll still take P3, and I think he may get promoted to Div 1 next season. But heartbreak for Emu. He'll have to wait another season if he wants to challenge for the title. But Mars has got to drive like he is prime Lewis Hamilton if he wants to win this title. And he's got to hope that Jay Morris, something happens to him. I don't think we'll get safety car in this lap. Flexing pitted. I think that may have been a front wing change. Probably AlphaTauri. But the order pretty much staying as it was. Safety car came out pretty much exactly the same, apart from a few position games. Wide Vader has gained 3 positions. So he overtook 2 people and overtook the DNF car of Emu. So good start there from the rookie. But we'll see how the drivers fare in these wet conditions, because we haven't had many wet races this season. But all Jay Morris has to do, he won't be caring about, he'll just be trying to play it safe, because all he has to do is finish P10, and he's a world champion. And considering his consistency this season, that is one of the easiest tasks he's been set. But anything can happen at Brazil. So I think Flov and Dredu made contact when the safety car came out. It seemed like Dredu may have broken his front wing, but I think he's still okay for now. K5, obviously the runner-up in the championship last year. Will have to settle for last season. Will have to finish P3. Will have to settle for P3 in the standings this season. But will get promoted up to Div 1 next season, so it'll be good to see him there. As safety car is in this lap. Flav is currently P4 in the standings, P5, and this will certify his place in P5 in the standings if he maintains this. So on the restart, Dreaded will be eyeing him up, waiting for that Alfa Romeo to blitz away. He's going to wait right into the line. Does he not want Dreaded to get the slipstream on him? Or is he going to try and catch out the Red Bull? Is he going to go early? Waiting and waiting for the Alfa Romeo to stamp on the power, and now he goes. And we are racing once again here in Brazil. So we get racing. Flav seems to have got a good restart. Comic right on the back of K5 M5, heading into turn 1. Here comes Comic down the inside, takes P3 off K5, and up into the podium spots goes the Alpine. Meanwhile, Dreaded having a look at Flav, goes a little wide though and has to stay behind. We cut back to always battling Lanny just ahead of G-Eazy, who has a penalty. J Morris holds P5, the K5 coming back at Comic now. Comic to the outside of turn 4, just concedes to the Ferrari. Can he go back around the outside? No, he can't, just stays behind. G-Eazy having a look at Lanny still. Meanwhile, Alex gets pushed off by Shockblade. That seemed like a fair move though from the Alfa Romeo, so he's up to P9. What's Mars doing at the back, stuck behind Wide Vader in the Williams. He's in a Williams sandwich at the moment. Meanwhile, G-Eazy ahead of Lanny. He's not caring that he's got a penalty, overtaking the McLaren. McLaren, no, trying to come back. Bit of contact there. Was there front wing damage from McLaren? Still wheel to wheel. G-Eazy does get the move done though. Can Tiger Gamer now try and capitalise? Can he try and go around the outside? Just stays behind for Haas. And the McLaren struggling a little in P7. Meanwhile, Flav really building a lead. 1 second now. Dreaded falling back a little and falling into the clutches of K5 M5. K5 just savouring his ERS, it seems, for now. Meanwhile, there's been a crash at the back. Dodger has spun. Racing has also spun. Meanwhile, there's a bit of contact there between Rotor Reaction and Wide Vader. Wide Vader up to P11. Good move there as Tiger Gamer wheels to wheel with Lanny. Lanny getting swarmed by the Hasses. Lanny dropping down to P8. Nearly spins as Tiger Gamer, just about avoids him. Great driving there. As Tiger, is there going to be a bit of team play between the Haas drivers? Staying line astern for now, it seems. K5 starting to pile under pressure for Dreaded. Lanny trying to come back at Tiger, make a bit of contact. Not enough to spin though, as Mars now overtakes Rotor Reaction. That's the kind of moves he needs to be pulling off if he wants to get up to the front. But he's still got another Williams to get past of Wide Vader. As they all file through, staying behind each other. Oh, what on earth is going on there? The Tiger, G-Eazy is riding his teammate. That's 18 plus, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be watching this if you're under 18. Comic has left the session. Oh, Comic has left the session. Okay, we better get him back in. Invited Comic back, so I hope to get him back in shortly. But his AI will be going for now. That promotes J Morris up to P4. So good job there. But he's nearly spun out by G-Eazy, who comes rattling in. J Morris is spun. J Morris is spun by G-Eazy. Spun all the way to the back. And Mars will be loving the sight of that. Mars is now ahead of his rival, and he's got to win the race. Well, that's clearly going to help him on his way. Lanny is out of the race, and what's happened to Lanny? Lanny's crashed on the straight somehow, and there's a virtual safety car. J Morris now pits against a 5-second penalty. It's all spiraling out of control for J Morris. Out of all the people for it to happen to, it is him, as Mars finds himself now in the top 10. And this championship may not be over just yet. I'll invite Comic again. It's a virtual safety car, but meanwhile Flav chilling up the front while the chaos transpires before him. As I think we're about to get racing again. No, we aren't. G-Eazy gaining a lot of positions as G-Eazy now gets a drive-through. He's a penalty magnet today as Shockblade, he's the highest mover of the race, gone from P12 to P6, trying to capitalise on the squirming Tiger in front of him. ERS management won't be as big of a problem now because he regained it a lot more in the race. But Mars will now be encouraged to overtake everyone in front of him because the championship ain't over yet. Oh, what's up to Flav? Flav has been swamped at the restart and he's dropped to P2. He had a huge lead earlier. But he's been duped by Dredude, and now is P2, so Dredude takes the lead. As Jeezy gets another penalty for speeding during his drive-through penalty, so Chaos says, Flav nearly spins, here comes K5 now, nearly contact. Flav just has to conceive a position, trying to come back at Flav to the inside of K5. Can he get the move done as Shockblade wheels to wheel now with Comic as they head down into turn 4? Did Flav get back ahead? Yes, he did. Can the other Alfa Romeo get ahead? Yes, he can. So both Alfa Romeos regaining their positions. 2nd and 5th, brilliant start for the Alfa Romeos. Mars now up to P9 after Jeezy now pitted. As Alex goes wide, here comes Wide Vader to the inside. Mars watching on, just trying to take it cautiously, maneuvering his way through. Trying not to get spun, he needs to bide his time as Alex nearly spins on the exit, still battling these two in front of him. This is costing him time in this race. Mars trying to get the switch back, just stays behind. J-Rise not too far behind either, trying to capitalise. Flav will try and regain that advantage he had over everyone else and overtake Dredude. Meanwhile, we cut back to this battle. Does Mars want to try and overtake Wide Vader? Wide Vader's burning his battery. He wants to go for a move on Alex in front. Comet coming back at Shockblade though, heading down into turn 1. Here comes the Alpine to the inside. As Wide Vader overtakes Alex. Mars still watching on behind them. I think that's a warning for a Red Bull. J Morris sets the fastest lap, showing his pace after he spun out. He's not too far off P10, if everything goes accordingly. And Mars needs to make his way up the field as quickly as he can. Shockblade keeping with Comic after he got passed by him earlier. Oh, you don't want to be dipping with your wheels on the grass though, as Flav has got back within a second of Dredude. K5 and Tiger keeping with them. Wide Vader's the highest mover of this race. DeVito will be happy. He's gained 8 positions. Brilliant stuff from the Williams. As now it's Mars' turn to have a go at Alex. In the Ferrari. Rise right behind him as well. Another championship contender who finished P2 in the standings in Div 3. So I think it may get dry at the end of this race, so keep that in mind. Mars burning your battery. Meanwhile, Tiger overtakes K5. K5, I think he made a bit of an error there because Tiger's right on the back of him. Flav is now right on the back of the leader, Dredude. As Mars trying to get ahead of Alex now. Coming at the Ferrari at lightning speed, just staying behind for now. As every lap goes by, the further leaders pull away. But Reaction has been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty, so that's a new way to DNF to add to the list. So our Reaction has been disqualified. Dredude holds the lead. Rise got a penalty. Mars is out! Mars is out of the race! Mars is out! And that means Jay Morris is your Div 2 World Champion. What on earth has gone on with Mars? He's crashed on the exit at turn 5, a flat-out corner. And I don't think he was wheel to wheel with anyone unless he made contact with Alex. But Mars is out. And this is your world champion. Another safety car. Jay Morris is the world champion. I was hoping to do some big speech at the end of the race, but now it's just left with Mars out the race. And the Mercedes is the world champion. He was a Div 3 champion last season. And he's come to Div 2 and shocked everyone. But we didn't think he would be this dominant, and he is now your world champion. Bit of a bittersweet ending to this world championship, but we have got a few people in the pits. Wide Vader, the highest gainer of the race, pitting for fresh inters. The top 8 staying out. Rise got a penalty and all that. So yeah, Mars just did do it by himself, just deploying ERS. Unbelievable. But that means your world championship is decided. Jay Morris is the winner. K5 is P3 in the standings, so all we really have to battle for now is P5 in the standings. I could have think what happened if Mars had a good sprint. We could have been in for a right battle for this championship. Meanwhile, Jeezy, Grayson and Jay Morris also all pitting. Dodger's gained 9 positions. Oh, he's not even in. So there's a few people on fresh tyres. Oh, Shockley's deciding to pit as well. Interesting strategy call from Alfa Romeo. Is he going to get out ahead of Bahasa Jeezy? It's going to be tight with him. I think he just about will. So that means that Wide Vader is P9. He's got fresh inters, so Wide Vader is looking very good on his debut. Top 8 are left on old inters. And Verizon has got a penalty squad on. Jeezy's got a track limits penalty under the safety car. He seems like a penalty magnet today once again. Already got about 5. But what an anticlimactic end to this championship. I think we may get safety car in this lap, assuming Jay Morris can catch up. As Racing also gets a penalty under the safety car, so I'm not sure what's going on. My mic's still glitchy. Let me know if still a problem. Safety car in this lap. Mic's still glitchy. Okay, I'll turn it off and then turn it back on again. Give me a second. Okay, so we are racing again now. The audio's all fixed. And Dreaded leads away, no major crashes. It seems like K5 battling with Comet into turn 4. We cut back to the back. Is it fixed now? Okay, good. Meanwhile, K5 battling with Tiger Gamer. Tiger on the inside of Comic and K5. Heading through turn 6, just wheel to wheel with K5 still. K5 gives him the room. Down the inside, Tiger now turns to the outside. Bahas keeps on the outside, just stays behind the right for now. Comic nearly is the back of him. As Flexing has span out of the back, I think, as well. As there's a bit of contact heading into turn 11. Two Williams wheel to wheel as Wide Vader putting pressure on his teammate. Or Shockley now has a look down the inside, just has to stay behind. Jeezy now has a look around the outside. They nearly make contact. Shockley just stays ahead. Incredible battling it all down the field. The top 2 blitzing away now, but here comes Flav now blitzing down the straight to the inside of Dreadwood. It's turn 1. Dreadwood doesn't want to give it up. But, and they're ghosting through each other. But Flav does take the lead. Meanwhile, Wild Vader gets ahead of his teammate. Comic trying to come back at Tiger Gamer. Oh, what's happened? Flav is out. Flav is out of the race. Flav is out. The race leader for a large part of this race is now out. We have another safety car. And did he crash with Dreadwood or was it just by himself? And that could ruin his chance at P5 in the championship. Flav is out of the race. calamity for the Alfa Romeo, the sprint winner. DNFs in his last race. I think they made contact from what Flav is saying in chat. Yeah, there was a collision between Dreadwood and Flav, which caused Flav to DNF. They'll be held with the stewards after this. But Comic now seems to be the one who will be getting P5 in the standings. We have got a few people in the pits now. Dreadwood comes in to pit for fresh enters. A race leader, a lot of others are staying out though. White Vader is out to P5, and he's the leader on fresh enters. DeVito is going to be loving life. This race feels like it keeps going on forever with all the safety cars. J Morris now up to P8. Dreaded now all the way down to P12. Is that a bit of a strategy blunder from the Red Bull? See how it plays out later in the race. But it is another safety car, and I'm forced to sat through another period of boredom. Someone in chat can entertain me, because it's been a very boring race, other than, well, when we're actually racing it's been entertaining, but... Oh, hello. Safety car in this lap. That is the shortest safety car in existence. So we are going racing this lap as Flav left, clearly rage quitting from his incident with Dreadwood. So maybe an incoming penalty for Dreadwood after this race, but when is K5 going to go? Is he going to wait right until the line? Oh no, he's gone now, and he's caught Tiger off guard there. Here comes Comic, brilliantly timed there from the Alpine to the inside of Tiger. Comic down the inside, takes P2. Brilliant restart there from the Alpine. Meanwhile, there's a Red Bull going down the inside in the background, getting ahead of Fexin. Fexin trying to hang it on the inside. Dreadwood already making quick work of the slower drivers on those fresh tyres. Shockley wheel to wheel with White Vader. This is for the battle for the lead on the new tyres. They make contact. White Vader to the outside of Shockley, forced off the track. Now he loses position to G-Easy as there's contact up front. Tiger Game is squeezed out. Alex up to P3. It's Ferrari 1 and 3. Now G-Easy forced off the track by his teammate Tiger Gamer. Shock lead up to P3. Chaos battling here throughout the field. J Morris is up to P7 as G-Easy battles with the Div 3 driver Rayson. Dreadwood trying to make his way through the field on his fresh tyres, watching the battle ensuing before him, but he nearly crashed into the back of G-Easy. G-Easy still wheel to wheel Rayson. Brilliant battle between these two. Going around a flat out turn to make contact. G-Easy spins himself and spins Rayson out too. And that just looked like a clumsy incident where G-Easy drifted into Rayson. Meanwhile, we cut back to a battle for the lead. Comic is absolutely flying in these wet conditions. Hello, Roll Reaction. Thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, he got disqualified. Wild Vader now up to P5 as Comic goes down the inside. It's turn 1. K5 gives him the room. Now Comet looks for the switchback. It's a very good switchback at that. Riding on board with Shockley who looks to capitalise on his fresh tyres. Here comes Shockley now. One Alfa Romeo was leading. Can he make it another one? It's 3 wide now. And he's down into turn 4. Shockley to the inside. Comet takes both of them. Shockley down the inside. Takes the lead of the race. Comet now on the exits. Just stays out of K5. L. Alex joining the fight in the other Ferrari. Incredible battling here. Phenomenal racing that was between these three. Wild Vader trying to get up. Wild Vader Trying to get up to a battle of this. Jay Morris also. Does he want to end his championship winning campaign on our win? I think anyone would. Shockley starting to pull away on his fresh inters, really coming into play. So a genius strategy here for Shockley. Dredu starts to catch up to this lot on his fresh inters. He's got the freshest inters of them all. You know, Jeezy will to will with Dodger. Dodger's ghosted. No, here comes Wild Vader. So they want to take two drivers. Oh, so close to K5 there. Nearly 3 wide. Into first corner. LRX goes down the inside of his teammate K5. Spins on the exit. Gets the job done though. Here's Jay Morris on the exit. Can he take advantage? Now he's going to be under pressure from Dredu to the inside. Here comes Jay Morris to the inside. Dredu tries to get it as well. Just gets boxed off. Here comes Jay Morris down the inside of K5 M5. Alex having a look at White Vader in front. Dredu trying to get the switch back, making a bit of contact with K5 on the exit. And now on the outside for turn 6, this could get risky. Here comes Dredu around the outside of K5. It goes a little wide and spins out. Dredu spins. Dredu only fresh into spinning out. Trying to get it at K5, but now he loses 3 positions. All the good work Dredu did has now been evaporated. So I didn't even notice Shockley. Shockley's absolutely blitzing the field. 2 seconds clear of Comic now. We're not even halfway through this race and so much carnage has gone on. Jay Morris now piling the pressure on L. Alex in front. The world champion wants to end this season on an even bigger high. Can he finish on the podium to celebrate his world championship? L. Alex hasn't finished on the podium in a while. Jay Morris will look to deny that. Here he comes for P4 to the inside of turn 1. Can L. Alex hang it around the outside? Meanwhile, K5 and Rise battling it out. Rise around the outside of K5 and gets a move done. Jay Morris gets a move done on Alex as well. Rise up to P6 as Racer makes contact with Dredu. Now says he's hit by G-Eazy. It's turn 1. Absolute carnage here. G-Eazy's got no front wing now. Jesus, man, this is absolutely ridiculous. So many spins. I know it's wet, but still. Meanwhile, the battling continues. Dredu now ahead of Racing. Dodger falling back, G-Eazy falling back because of his broken front wing. Oh, and we have got some comms karaoke. So I'm going to be forced to sing amongst this chaos. Okay, I'll just see if there's any moves going on and I'll do it for you. 2 Ferraris very close together. Meanwhile, flexing to the inside of K5 M5. Wheel to wheel the Ferrari and ahead of the Ferrari. So, flexing, making his way up the field. Very good. Okay, I'll just sing the chorus of Call Me Maybe. As L. Alex to the outside of Flexin. Flexin overtakes both Ferraris in the span of 4 corners. Or does he? Yes, he does. Alex just has to stay behind. Can K5 go around the outside? Drifting off and into the barriers goes K5. K5 is out the race. And he's going to end this race on a massive low. He's had many highs this season, but he is out. K5 in the barriers. And will make it the 6th retirement of this race. Anyway, comes karaoke. I'll just do the chorus. Hey, I just met you. And this is crazy. So here's my number. Call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me. No, here's my number. So call me maybe. I need it so bad. I need you so bad. I need you so bad. I need you so, so bad. All you need is some matter. So bad. I need you so bad. I need you so, so bad. Meanwhile, White Vader coming at Comic now. versus a battle for P2. Wide Vader on much fresher tyres as here he comes to the outside. Can't get it done. Can he get the switch back though? Out of turn 4. Comet goes a little wide. Stays behind for now. J Morris rocking up on the scene along with J Rise trying to get ahead as well. Here comes Wide Vader to the outside. It's going to get risky around the outside of turn 6. All the way around the outside of Comet. Can't get it done. Can J Morris go down the inside? No, we can't. Rise also trying to capitalise as well. J Morris now with a Williams sandwich. I'm just going to check if safety cars are on reduced, because there have been a lot. Safety car is on reduced. Meanwhile, Shocklade absolutely dominating up front. He's 6 seconds clear, and after being on control of the last few races, he's come back on wheel and he's been rapid. He looks unstoppable at the minute. This battle for P2 rages on though. Rise has got a penalty. That's not stopping him though. He's coming at J Morris. J Morris is coming at Wide Vader. And Wide Vader's run out of battery. J Morris still got plenty left. Here he comes to the inside. Down the inside goes the world champion on Wide Vader and takes P3. Brilliant move from Mercedes. Wide Vader trying to come back at him though with the switchback. Can't quite get executed well. Rise though, he comes around the outside. And can he get both of them on the exit? Gets Wide Vader. Here comes Wide Vader. He doesn't want to make it free wide there. Backs off. J Rise trying to go around the outside. Can he keep his nose in? Yes, he can. J Rise might just have to concede. Nearly spinning out. Just about held it. Brilliant save from J Rise. As now Wide Vader dips his wheels on the grass and spins around. You don't want to be doing that here at Brazil as Wide Vader spins all the way down to P6. And that's going to be P7 after L Alex overtakes him as well. So huge error there from Wide Vader. And J Morris now up to P3. Fex in his P5. This race has still got 15 laps left. Feels like it's been going forever. But the battle for P2 rages on. It's just between Comic and J Morris now. Would be between Rise without his penalty. Is that a... It's a 3 seconds actually, so track limit one. Meanwhile, Comic under pressure from J Morris. Comic though has the ERS advantage for now. Well, Comic squirming around. Does J Morris see an opportunity? J Morris nearly spins on the exit at turn 3, but here he comes burning his battery. He's got some slipstream. Heading down into turn 4, round the outside of Comic. Dips his wheels on the grass, can't get ahead, and now goes off the track and squirms off as Rise now sees his opportunity and gets up into P3. J Morris squirming around, he can't keep control of the car. His inter's really starting to die off. Comic's been on those tyres since the start, he still hasn't pitted, no wonder he's struggling so much. Meanwhile, Shocklade sitting pretty at the front still. J Rise has got the freshest tyres of a lot of them, so no wonder he's this quick. Comic squirming around, his old tyres really starting to come through. You can tell how much he's struggling, nearly spins on the exit. J Rise nearly hits the back of him. Now on the exit, Comic will be vulnerable to an attack from the Williams. So here comes J Rise, burning his battery with a free driver, coming out the Alpine. Oh, he's not burning it actually, Comic burning his battery, J Rise is happy to sit behind. Which is strange considering how much quicker J Rise is in the Alpine. Look how much Comic is squirming, look, he's practically going off the track. The Alpine struggling to stay on track as Fexin now joining the fight for P2. He could find himself on the podium here. But that penalty really hampering J Rise. Shockley now, the gap building up to nearly 10 seconds. Incredible stuff from the Alfa Romeo. These lot still battling on. Meanwhile, Wide Vader has re-overtaken Al Alex after what he span out. So, Wide Vader on the recovery drive. Still riding on board with Rise, watching the squirmy Comic in front of him. I do believe it is supposed to get dry by the end of this race. From what the weather said earlier, so this race isn't over. Shocklay's just got to keep it cool and he'll have the right strategy. Meanwhile, J Rise might have to look to defense instead of offense because he's now dropped back off Comic and now got Jay Morris not too far behind. Wide Vader was trying to regain that 7-second gap to Fexin in front. Here comes Jay Morris having a look to the inside of Rise. Nearly it's the back. Just still staying behind. Jay Morris hasn't got anything to lose anymore. He can have a little bit of fun for the last bit of this race. Haas are having a terrible day in 11th and 10th as Dodger gets overtaken as a ghost. Jay Morris still putting the pressure on Rise in front. Rise will try and catch back up to Comic. All starting to spread out a little bit now. Wide Vader is catching back up to Fexin, but Tiger Gamer has caught Racing. As Racing has now got Dreaded in front of him, so a little battle forming here for P8. Yeah, K5, Flov, Mars, Emu. That's a lot of big names out of this race. The rain seemingly getting to all of them. Here comes Tiger now, gaining on Racing. Racing doesn't want to give it up either. We're going to back to battle heading down here, turn 1 to the outside. Goes Tiger, gets squeezed all the way to the outside. What is Racing doing? Squeezing him onto the grass as Tiger spins out into barriers and he's out. What on earth was Racing doing there? Tiger is out of the race, and I think we've reached our safety car limit, which is why it hasn't come out in a while. Meanwhile, Jay Morris coming at Rise. Rise has really dropped off a pace. But what was Racing doing there? Just completely squeezed Tiger off. Yeah, imagine Jay Morris goes as well. We've got a lot of underdogs still left in this race from how the mighty have fallen. Only 11 runners left in this race. We started with 18. 1 disqualification and 6 DNFs. Dreaded starts to catch up to Alex. He's trying to regain positions. Dreaded was leading this race for most of the start of it. As Jay Morris starts piling the pressure on Rise in front. He's going to finish ahead anyway, so I think he's just happy to stay behind. So just line stern for everyone at the minute. As Rise falls off Comic, Chocolate keeps extending his lead. And Flexin slightly catching Jay Morris in front. Wide Vader actually significantly catching Flexin. Thank you, Dewey, to have a hydrate. I'll need it after all this. These drivers still going really strong, considering these wet conditions. Very difficult around here. Jay Morris burning his battery. Doesn't want to go for a move on Rise. Still stuck behind the Williams into turn 1. Jay Morris still piling the pressure on Rise, but three-way battle here for P7 at the back, although Dreaded and Racing do have penalties. To be fair, we could have sang We Are the Champions like 5 races ago. The gap was so big. I don't want to sound cocky, but... Oh, DRS is enabled. DRS enabled, and that is an indication that it is drying up. So, it is getting dry. And, well, there's your first sign. Jeezy coming into the pits for soft tyres. What is the race leader going to do? He's pitting for soft, so we are into the dry period now. And we have got 9 laps of dry running. This will give people a chance, or Dredu can serve his penalty, nobody else can. Oh, Comet goes a little wide. So Rise pits, Jay Morris pits, everybody is pitting. Jay Morris gets another penalty, so does Fexin. That's going to compromise their race. White Vader gets one as well. Why is everyone speeding? Everyone's getting penalties. Meanwhile, Shocklade emerges, still in the lead. Miles ahead of everybody else. Jay Rise ahead of Jay Morris. Fexin right behind Jay Morris. Dreaded service penalty, so he drops to 9th. Chocolate chilling up at the front. Let's have a look at penalties now. So Rise, that might guarantee him P3 in this race. Or Alex could still end up in a good position. But how did so many people speed in the pit lane? But Jay Morris it'll be a lot easier to overtake now with DRS and dry conditions. So, both burning the battery. Jay Morris wants his P3. Here he comes, a Mercedes, gaining on Jay Rise, pulls to the outside of Jay Rise. Jay Rise don't want to give it up, heading into turn 1. Rise keeps it on the inside, Jay Morris all the way around the outside. Great racing there, but Jay Morris does take P3 and he's up to the podium. And he's now got to try and build a 2-second gap on the Williams. Jay Rise don't want to give it up though. Here he comes, he's got ERS and DRS. Heading into turn 4, Jay Morris darts to the inside, Jay Morris to the inside. Rise round the outside, running on board with Fexin, trying to take on both of them. Jay Morris just about staying ahead of Rise. Can Rise hang on the inside? Just backs out for now. Jay Morris gives him the room. Still wheel to wheel. But Jay Morris does finally get ahead and up into P3 and make a bit of contact. Rise still in P4. But brilliant racing there. Okay, reverse Alex. Alex is absolutely terrible. I mean, he thinks that just not getting a pen yet makes him incredible, but in reality, he's absolutely terrible. He's going to crash 10 more times today, and he's never going to get a podium. Meanwhile, Jay Rise coming right back at Jay Morris. Comics had a very slow lap. Did he make an error? Because now he's got Jay Morris and Rise breathing down the necks. Here they come, heading down into turn 1, nearly 3 wide. Jay Morris to the outside of Comic, all the way around the outside of the Alpine. Comic don't want to give it up. Rise now trying to get the switch back. Flexing riding on board. He's got a front row seat of this battle. As here he comes trying to join the action. Here comes Flexing, trying to come to the inside of Rise, but here he comes. Comic to the inside of Jay Morris, gets ahead as well. Flexing down the inside of Jay Rise as well. Incredible battling between these guys. Flexing now down the inside of Jay Morris as well. He now takes P3. Can Jay Morris hang on the inside? Just trying to back off, and he does back off. Flexing up to P3. Incredible racing here. Jay Rise still behind them, as Comic still maintains P2 somehow. Racing set the fastest lap. He's all of a sudden found some pace. But all of them are on softs. So I'll keep the penalties up. That's most important. Shockley now 15 seconds up the road. Absolutely dominating this. As Comic holding up this trainer cars. He can't find any pace. What has happened to the Alpine? Rise gets another penalty, so that's going to ruin his chance of getting a podium. Here comes Flexing now to the outside of Comic, already overtaking the Alpine. Comic is now going to be runnable, so all the cars behind. Burning his battery mode to try and stay ahead. Here comes Jay Morris now to the outside of the Alpine. All the way around the outside, he tips his wheels on the grass, so that's going to force him wide. Here comes Jay Rise down the inside as well. Round the outside now, does get ahead of a Mercedes. A mistake there from Jay Morris, that could cost him a podium. As Comic is still struggling, over a second now behind Flexing. Jay Rise now piling the pressure on the Alpine. Flexing's now got to try and build a 5-second gap on Comet behind if he wants P2. But he's on for a podium here. The AlphaTauri. Jay Morris and Rise all over the back of Comic. What has happened to Comic's pace in these last few laps? He can't get to grips on the dry tyres. Maybe it's because he has a wet setup on. And he just can't drive it in the dry conditions. Come around the final corner now. What has Jay Rise got against Comic? Dipping his wheels on the grass ain't going to help. But heading down the main straight, Comic's burning his battery. You don't want to give it up. But Jay Rise has his DRS and Comic may be vulnerable. As here comes Jay Morris as well. They could go 3 wide here. Jay Rise to the outside. Jay Morris to the inside. No, just stay fine for now. Comic trying to stay ahead, but now Jay Morris to the outside and takes a position, makes their contact. Rise half spins and drops a long way back from these two. But here comes Jay Morris now to the outside of Comic. Is he going to get ahead before turn 4? Riding on board with Comic. Trying to stick his nose on the inside, but Jay Morris around the outside. Takes P3 and Comic down to P4 as now it's Rise's turn to have another go at Comic. And this time not make contact with Jay Morris as Comic already going wide. Jay Rise all over back, Comic nearly spins. What has happened to the Alpine's pace in this last stint? Comic now. Under pressure from Rise, trying to go around the outside. He's all over him. Can't get the Williams off the back of him. Div 3. Faster than Div 2 here as Jay Rise. Comic gives a position to Jay Rise. Is that a tactical move? He's dropped a bit far back, so I don't know if it is. Yeah, look how far back he's fallen. He's already fallen 7/10, so he's not going to be able to re-overtake him. Calamity here for Comic. He could have been on for a P2. He now may be on for a P5. He's burned all his battery. Shockley, though, he is chilling and he is ignoring all the chaos by chilling 16.5 seconds in front. That could be the biggest winning margin in the whole of this season. He's about to lap Dodger as well. Just to add salt in a wound. Comic's still trying to keep with Comic, but he's just falling further and further behind. Comic trying to stick with Jay Rise, I should say. Oh, Jay Rise, though, does go wide, and Comic might just be able to stick with him. He needs to make sure he doesn't lose DRS, otherwise he could fall out of 6 seconds from Jay Rise. Well, look how much slower he is. Jay Rise just pulling away in every corner. Comic can't keep up, no matter how much he tries. And look, he's dropped out the DRS now as well. Comic burning all his battery. Is he going to try and go for a move? Is he close enough? Comic burning all his battery to stick with Jay Rise. He's just got no pace. He's been caught by Wide Vader at a drastic rate as well. Where has Comic's speed gone today? Just about keeping control of his car, Comic. Is he on older tyres or something? No, same age tyres. Something's happened to Comic. Right on board with Shockley for a lap, okay. Well, penultimate lap, we're right on board with him. Shockley, he was kind of in the title for a lot of this season, but after he switched to controller. Oh, what's happened? Comic's made an error. Wide Vader now ahead of Comic. Sorry for your spectator, who was supposed to spectate Shockley, but there's battling going on here between the Williams and Comic. Comic trying to come back, but he's just not quick enough. Rise doesn't want to let his teammate go. Alex is out of the race. How has that happened? Alex has crashed on the pit straight. I've no idea how he's done that. Here comes Wide Vader now to the outside of his teammate Jay Rise. They don't really want to be battling. They want to be trying to get far ahead of Comic. Still they're battling. Well, we can ride a ball with Shockley for the final lap and then we can see how quick he is. These two, they're not battling for position because Jay Rise has more penalties, so Wide Vader can just stay behind anyway. Don't know how Alex crashed out there because it was a straight where he crashed out. Jeezy gets another penalty, compounding his horrible afternoon. Meanwhile, let's ride on board with Shockblade to cap off an incredible drive here for the Alfa Romeo. He's not had the best season, Shockblade. He's made a few errors, but he's been on controller, and that's limited his ability. But this race, he's driven like a world champion as the two Williams battle it out. We ride on board with this man, who this race has been impeccable. Nailed the wet strategy, and even on these dry tyres when maybe he was using a wet setup, clearly didn't affect him. As Racing now overtakes his teammate. What on earth has happened to Comic this race? He's lost all his pace. Meanwhile, Shockblade. Here's a man who has not lost his pace. Shockblade comes around the final corner now, weaving through the flat-out corners of these final few Brazil laps. Shockblade to the line, mastered the wet, mastered the dry. Shockblade wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's an Alfa Romeo sprint win. It's an Alfa Romeo race win to cap off their constructors' victory. Fexin will claim an incredible second place. A brilliant drive from him as he races our new world champion, Jay Morris, to the line. He won Div 3 and has defied the odds here in Div 2. From Div 3 world champion to Div 2 world champion, Jay Morris is P3 and gets a podium to cap off his winning season. Jay Rise and Wide Vader race to the line, but Wide Vader will finish there anyway. Comic will just hang on to P4 after he lost all pace at the end. As we wait for G-Eazy with his 17 seconds worth of penalties to cross the line. Racing is P7 after his horrible crash with Tiger Gamer. Dredude is P8 after he was leading the race for much of a wet stint. And G-Eazy comes to the line. We will be the last driver to finish this World Championship. G-Eazy crosses the line in P9 to cap off a horrible day for Haas, but a brilliant day for Alfa Romeo and Jay Morris. So Shockblade wins for Alfa Romeo. And along with it gets Alfa Romeo the Constructors' World title. And those are your race results. And Shockblade didn't just win it marginally. He won it, including penalties, by a whole 23 seconds. Jay Morris, your world champion, is P3. Great drive from Fexin as well. Comet P4 after he lost loads of pace at the end. Wide Vader, also good drive from him on his debut, P5. J Rise in Div 3, P6. Racing P7 after his incidents. Dredude P8, he was leading for much of a race. And G-Eazy caps off the finishers, apart from Dodger, who was AI the whole race. L. Alex crashed 3 laps from the end, along with many others. Tiger, K5, Flov, Mars, Lanny, Emu, and Robot Reaction, all DNFing. And we're going to get some post-race interviews in here. And I hope we can hear from the world champion, too. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to share the link so we can get some post-race interviews in here. Hope we get some people in here. People who did good, people who did bad. Doesn't matter, we're all on the same page now. And we got Rise in here. Rise, hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello. I mean, that seemed like a fun race from your perspective. A few unfortunate penalties, which in the end cost you a possible podium. But yeah, really quick on the wets, and then good battle with your teammate and Comic and the dries. Seemed pretty fun for you.
Yeah, it was. My main goal was to hold up Jay Morris, and I believe I have no clue who it was. I was too busy on being the minister of defense for Comic. It worked out quite well. He got P4, so I'm really happy with that. That was my ultimate goal. Luckily, or unlucky that he didn't get the podium, but yeah, still a great drive from him, and yeah, I'm happy with that he got P4 for the drivers or for the constructors championship.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good race from you. I mean, considering you only just hopped on, you didn't even have any qualifying practice as well. Yeah, I don't really remember your sprint. I felt like ages ago, but from what I saw in your race, yeah, really good wet stint. You're P2 at one point, next to Comic, and then yeah, really fun battles with Jay Morris in the dry period. It seemed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any major incidents you can comment on? Or?
Just a little. From what I can remember, just a little wheel touching, but not incidents that I have been a part of. I think, but if I do, then I would see it in the incidents chat. But in my perspective, I didn't get into any incidents. A little love tap, but that's part of racing.
Yeah, well, yeah, really good race. We've got a lot of people waiting, so I'll have to move on. But yeah, great race from you. Great season in Div 3. And yeah, hope to see you next season. Thanks for racing.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Shocklade, I think you were next. Hello, Shocklade, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, I can hear.
Well, I mean, what a race. I mean, I started near the back, 13th, I think it was, and just flawless wet strategy. And then even on the dry, it's maybe thinking, oh, he's got a wet setup on. No, 23 seconds you won the race by. Incredible.
Yeah, my sprint was a bit shit with the contact with Mars. Sorry to him. It was probably my fault. Yeah, the race was pretty nice to drive. Yeah, the strategy was really good. I can pat myself on the shoulder there, and then the fight to P1 was really cool. And then yeah, I don't know why, but then I just drove off into the distance.
Yeah, I mean, after you overtook, you just never look back, and yeah, your wet pace was great, dry pace was great. Were there any race incidents which could get you a pen? Not that it matters anyway.
Probably for the sprint, or how is it? If I get a pen in the sprint, is it then counted on the sprint or on the race?
If you get a pen in the sprint, it only applies for the sprint race.
Yeah, probably for the sprint with Mars, maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't seen his POV.
Yeah. Well, still, I mean, flawless from you, and that wraps up the Alfa Romeo Constructors Championship. So great job for bringing home the points, along with Flav, who won the sprint race. So yeah, incredible weekend from you, and just shows what you could have done if you got your wheel earlier. But yeah, thanks for racing, brilliant drive, and hope to see you next season.
Yeah, we'll be there. Good night.
Right, goodbye. I don't know who was next at K5. Whoever on mutes first, I guess, gets in the next one. Wide Vader or K5, whichever one of you. It's fine. Wide Vader.
Just joined for actually no reason at all. Just wanted to hear the folks. But my first race here, so.
I mean, it was a very good race at that. You seem proper making your way through the order in the wet. Good battles. Good battles with Jay Morris as well in the dry.
The sprint though, it was terrible.
I don't remember sprint. Sprint felt like years ago. All I saw was you gained so many places in a wet, and for your debut, finishing P5 or 6, still, yeah, P5 ahead of Rise as well. Yeah, brilliant race.
Thank you. I had one move though on 2 Ferraris when they still looked wet.
Oh yeah, we got that on stream. You managed to just about weave through them.
Is that a legal move or is it okay move?
Oh no, that's fine. As long as there's no contact, then you're fine, and you didn't make any.
Because I was threading the needle hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you. might be a full timer to next season.
Yeah, well,
later.
A great debut. Hope to see you next season.
Okay.
K5, you there? Hello, hello. I don't want to sound. Oh no, I do remember what happened to you. So, yeah, dipping your wheel on the grass at turn 6 and spinning into barriers. I mean, you got P3 in the standings because Emu crashed out as well, but not the greatest way to end the season.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's not the greatest way to end the season. As I said at the start of the race, along with like Robot Reaction and a few others, DNFing the last race is not the best thing, but I did the same thing I did in the sprint when I was side by side with Fluff in the sprint. I dipped the wheel in the grass and nearly spun out, but in the sprint I saved it, in the race I didn't, so yeah, that's that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be going pretty well, but to that point, you had a good sprint race, good battle in the sprint, got P2. Yeah, just all fell apart in the wet, it seemed like.
Yeah, the wet really advantages, favors the like people that are actually like, good at driving and don't use assists, because full traction control in the wet, it compared to if you can do it without the traction control, it's insane. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still runner-up in the championship last season, P3 in the championship this season, and seems like you'll be in Div 1 next season. So hope to see you there. And yeah, great season from you, and thanks for racing, and I'll see you next season.
See you, but I cannot race in Div 1.
Oh, you can't? Oh, well, still, I mean,
This Monday, 3 a.m.
P3, P2, you can still, P3, P2, maybe turn it into P1 next season.
Hopefully. Can I say a few things to the stream?
Yeah, sure.
To Ferrari, I'm sorry, didn't bring home the championship. I made a few mistakes whole season. And guess yeah, that's it. Because I was fighting my hardest, made mistakes, but I did what I could. Hope I brought like points to Ferrari, like good enough.
Yeah, I mean, don't need to be disheartened. I mean, some mistakes were your fault, some weren't, like Saudi Arabia, for example. But yeah, still good season overall from you, and you can bounce back next season.
Yep, next season will be summertime.
Oh, exactly.
I can practice.
All right.
Yep, that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and yeah, see you next season.
See you.
Emo, you here for an interview, or are you just listening in?
I'm here for an interview, just to make the stream longer, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to sound harsh, but I don't really remember what happened to you. There was so much going on.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, there was pretty much nothing. The driving standards were at bottom of the gold.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I do remember. You were out after 3 seconds, so I
yeah,
can't remember.
I've got a sandwich between the two horses. Not really what I could done. It was just like Singapore 2017. In the sprint, I made a lot of mistakes because the setup is, of course, a bit more unstable in the dry. So I almost spin. At least I lost on a 2 position. So that was not much in there. Yeah, and that was pretty much my whole race with that quali band too.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you could take a positive. I mean, that sprint race was really good. Last to P8 was pretty impressive to see you come through. Just the same, you got taken out after 5 seconds in a race, which is similar to what happened in Austria.
Yeah. It is what it is. It was the last race. I wasn't even going for the P3 in the championship. It wasn't. I wanted the P3. I know that would be impossible with a wet race. I'm not the best driver in the wet, so I just wanted to race, have a fun, go out there. But the two horses didn't allow me that. I couldn't have fun, I guess. So my race lasted 5 flights, and that was it. Yeah, so that's everything, I think.
Yeah, still, I mean, very impressive season from you overall. A lot of positives to take from it, and yeah, I'll look forward to you versus K5. I think next season in Div 2.
The next season should be a lot more interesting. It's not gonna be J Morris dominating the whole, I mean, half of the season. Um, of course, I did improve from last season a lot, like 9 DNS, not going there again. But I did some very crucial mistakes that cost me the championship. Um, Most of them weren't even my mistakes. So, yeah, I hope the next season is gonna be a bit luckier for me and not get taken out whenever I go for the win. But overall, think I'm gonna be happy with 3 wins and 1 podium in this season. It was a good season. Um, Definitely better than the season 1, but a lot of rivalities. I could say a pretty clean racing between most of the drivers. Of course, at the end of the season, it got only worse, but it's normally
No,
like this.
we have got to wrap up now. Yeah.
What?
I just got to wrap up now. I got to go. I got to do stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up then.
Well, no,
it's
it's
too much. Yeah.
well. Hope to next season we don't have to carry comms as much. And oh yeah, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah. Goodbye.
All right, goodbye. So that is your Div 2 season, and that is your Brazilian Grand Prix. A dominant victory from Shocklade, who expertly managed for wet and dry conditions. But it is Jay Morris who wins the world title after a mistake from Mars saw him DNF and gifted the world championship straight to Jay Morris. Div 3 world champion and now Div 2 world champion. Back-to-back championships for him. Brilliant stuff from the Mercedes driver. But that is all from me for this season commentary. I'll be sure to join you next season. It's not all from Drive though. Last round of the season tomorrow in Div 1, where the championship is already wrapped up, but still we're in for chaotic race. So join Emu tomorrow, same time on Sunday night, and we will see you there. So thank you everybody for watching. I've been KJ, and we will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.